a little bit about myself. My name is Saad Kanwar. I have about 12 years of experience. I worked with various databases, including SQL Server. So Microsoft SQL Server is a database management system from Microsoft. It was developed in 1989. The present version is SQL Server 19 at the time of this recording. It can be hosted in Windows and Linux operating systems. Server-side scripting languages include SQL, .NET, R, Python, and Java. There are various replication methods that are supported in SQL Server 19, but it depends on the SQL Server edition. Finally, supported programming languages includes C++, C#, Delphi, Go, Java, JavaScript, Python, R, Ruby, and Visual Basic. Now let's talk about Microsoft Azure SQL Database, which is platform as a service. It's highly compatible with SQL Server. It was developed by Microsoft. It was released in 2010. The current version is v12 at the time of this recording. T-SQL is the only server-side supported scripting language. Replication method is supported with always 3 replicas available. Supported languages include .NET, PHP, Java, JavaScript, Python, and so in Azure SQL Server, there are 2 types of price-based models. One is a DTU model, and the other one is the vCore model. So first, let's take a look at what's actually the DTU model. So DTU, or Database Transactional Unit model, is a blended measure of CPU, memory, reads, and writes. It offers 3 types of service tiers, which includes basic, standard, and premium. Service tiers have different features. Finally, Azure actually has a DTU calculator. The other pricing model is the vCore, or virtual core model, which offers a higher compute memory, I/O, and storage limits compared to the DTU model. It also offers a more granular control compared to the DTU model. It includes 3 service tiers, which includes general purpose, business critical, and hyperscale. And it also includes 2 types of compute tiers, which includes provision and serverless. Microsoft actually recommends using the vCore model rather than the DTU model. Various deployment models which are included in the Azure SQL Server Database. So there are 3, which includes managed instances, single database, and elastic pools. Now let's review each one of them in the next coming slides. Let's talk about managed instance. So in managed instance, you migrate your SQL instance into the Azure SQL Server Database. It supports up to 8 TB SQL Server databases. According to Microsoft, almost 100% compatibility exists when compared with the latest SQL Server on-prem database engine. Managed instance deployments allow to basically lift and shift your on-prem application to the cloud with minimum application and database changes. And then now you have the PaaS capabilities, which includes automatic patching, automatic backups, and high availability. And it comes with 2 service tiers, general purpose and business critical. Managed instance supports Azure Active Directory and SQL authentication, and Microsoft availability guaranteed for managed instance is 99.99. And when you deploy managed instance, native virtual network is also deployed as part of your deployment. And you can actually have your connectivity to your on-prem environment using Azure Express Route or VPN gateway. And I can actually see that the virtual as the network, the route table, the cluster, and the security group has been deployed as part of the managed instance deployment. Database deployment. So in this, your database is deployed as a service under the umbrella of platform as a service. This option is great for new cloud applications and microservices. It supports up to 100 TB in size. It has its own resources and it's managed via a database server. Microsoft guarantees availability of 99.995%, and it also has options of hyperscale and serverless. So it can be considered as a contained database in SQL Server. Now let's talk about some Azure SQL Server considerations. So when you're talking about migration, for SSIS in Azure is part of the Azure Data Factory, which is Platform as a Service. For analysis services, SSAS is separate Platform as a Service, which is known as Azure SQL Server Analysis. For SSRS, you will have to use either Power BI paginated reports, or you will have to host SSRS on an Azure VMware. If you're using managed instances, then you can use the SQL jobs, but the SQL agent jobs are actually not available if you are using Azure SQL databases. For that, you will have to create Elastic job agents for your Azure SQL database. So now let's talk about Elastic Database Pool. So Elastic Database Pool is a collection of databases with a shared set of resources managed via a database server. So in this, the eDTUs is similar to DTU, but eDTU is a shared set of resources that can be shared between databases. You can add single databases to Elastic Pool, or you can remove them. It's just a very cost-effective solution to manage and scale your multiple databases that have different workloads. And so the resources can be configured based on DTU pricing model or vCore based model. Additional eDTUs can be added to your existing pool with no downtime from the SQL Server. It's basically based on a similar architecture as managed instances. It allows you to deploy several managed instances into your pool. You can basically pre-provision your compute pool. You can basically pre-provision your compute level and then add various managed instances. It helps to basically kind of consolidate your instances together, and it's a great way to scale as well if you need it. Also, you don't have to change too many IPs, so the IP actually allocation remains the same in the VNet subnet. Finally, you can also control your cost and spending limit. So here is a quick diagram that is available on Microsoft website, where you can see that it's actually under the same VNet subnet. And over here, as you can see, you have kind of consolidated the various different instances. And one thing to note over here is that the deployments are in separate virtual clusters. So, and at the same time, the gateways components are different. So this ensures that the performance is not compromised. And that brings to the end of my video today. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. Please subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much for watching.